Hi guys, it's Shayla again from Freckle Finance, and today we're going to go over whether we were approved for a mortgage or not. Now, I don't want to leave you in suspense for too long. We were approved for a mortgage, but we don't exactly like our approval. So before we get into some of the more details of the mortgage, which I'm not going to cover what value we were approved for, but this is going to be like rates and points, etc. I do want to state that we don't have any established US credit, and we were still able to get approved based on that. And that's very likely a big reason why it was not as favorable as we thought. So as I've stated before, my husband has kind of a different pay structure, and they didn't use all of his income in the mortgage approval, and they are not going to use it. So what I felt comfortable with was actually higher than what they gave us an approval for. And there was this house that cost that amount on a 30-year mortgage that we can no longer afford. We had more down payment potentially than we told them we had, but it's too much. So that's kind of sad, but also I guess it's okay because it means we'll have more money within our within our budget to put towards savings. So the 30-year mortgage, we were approved for 4.25%. which we already thought was kind of high. I think the going rate is a little under 4%, and we knew that we were probably going to have to pay a little bit higher of a rate because we don't have credit. What we didn't expect was the 3 points that we had to pay, that we're required to pay if we take a 30-year mortgage. And we had already discussed it that if we got an approval like that, we would absolutely not take that approval. Like, we're not paying 3 points, and we're not going to pay 4.25% and 3 points. Like, as it was, the house was already going to be that we wanted was already going to be like at the very top, and that kicks us out of it. I would not want to spend that amount, but like I said, they didn't approve us for that amount anyways. And in fact, because we're not comfortable with 30-year fixed mortgage, we actually can't buy in the location that we even want because houses are not available in the 15-year in what we can get for a 15-year mortgage. Now the 15-year mortgage, much better. It was 3.375 with 0 points. So way more affordable, pretty close to actually what they give regular customers, which was 3.25, I think. So it's just a little bit of an increase, not that bad. But like I said, we can't get any houses in the ideal location that we wanted. So because of this, we're honestly gonna have to reevaluate whether we're even gonna buy a home. Like, it was more and more leaning towards this area as we were waiting, because it just, for the longevity of everything, it makes more sense, and we don't want to sell a home later on as well. I mean, there is a bit of risk in the fact that we're here on a visa, and the interest rate on the 30-year mortgage is just too much. And I say, with the 30-year mortgage, we can get houses here, but we're not willing with the 30-year mortgage. We are not willing to get that 30-year mortgage. As well, there were several ARM loans. The interest rates were all higher than the 30-year mortgage interest rate, and they didn't come with any points, but like everyone told us that ARM loans were going to be cheaper. I was not even wanting to get an ARM loan in the first place. So where it stands now is we're going to get a 15-year mortgage, or we're not going to buy a house. We will talk to a mortgage broker. We're going to find out which mortgage brokers are really good and deals with our situation. I don't really expect the rates to be much of an improvement, or the points to be much of an improvement. They obviously have to take more money in the form of points so that the interest rate doesn't look so ridiculous, so that people will take the mortgage. But as well, it's a higher risk because we do not have established credit here. They will not pull our Canadian credit. There are companies that will pull Canadian credit, and those rates are higher. So I feel like, yeah, maybe the option to buy a house right now is not the greatest option, and that sucks. But that's just how life works sometimes. You can't always get what you want if it's not a smart financial decision. I was saying to my husband, like, I know how to make this space work in our future if we need to. Like, we can learn to like this place. I think we were set on buying, and so we didn't want to become attached to this place at all, so we're not really, but I don't know. We could either move, or like when this lease is up, or just stay here or buy a house. oh my gosh, buying a house is such a big financial decision that it is not one that is easy to make, especially when they're gonna charge you points. And I know anyone who follows Dave Ramsey or there's other finance people who say 15-year mortgage only, but it just, it sucks that we can't afford a 15-year mortgage that's in the location that we want and the location that is better for our future. And the one place that we looked up prices to have a renter, and it was a great setup to have a renter. And well, we can't even get the house now, but it was going to, give back quite a bit of money, because to rent a room in that area gets a lot of money. Renting room in the other area is like pretty minuscule and not nearly as worth it, although obviously it's cheaper to get the house there. So I don't want to ramble on any further. I feel like I'm just spewing my thoughts and sort of frustrations and how I'm upset at you, and I don't want to go on about it any further. There's nothing else that I know. There's no other decision to be made. But if you are new to this channel, click the subscribe button below so you can follow my journey. Am I gonna rent? Am I gonna buy? When are we gonna be financially independent? What is going on with my life? So click subscribe if you want to follow me. And remember that no matter what your financial situation is, make sure to have a great day. Bye.